what's up, everybody? Anyways, driving back from San Diego. Just did a big video with a channel that you guys are going to recognize. It's going to come out. It's going to have a lot of stuff about my childhood and people I grew up around and things that they were into. And so, before that hits, you know, almost 50,000 people have seen that video I put out. And I've been thinking of just about all that stuff that's going to happen in my life for people getting to know me and me putting my story out there. And I want to make it clear, I got one king. His name is Jesus. But I'm like probably the world's worst Christian, man. You know, I'm not like the best guy. And then right behind this one, I got another thing coming up as soon as my real ID comes in the mail so I can start catching planes again. To be clear, I'm making my story known because like a lot of you, I work a job. It's not a union job. I work 2 jobs. That's not a union job either. And at my age, I know that my maximum earning potential is going to hit a ceiling here another 5 or 10 years. And the best way to take care of my wife, which is what I care about, is selling my story. Putting my face out there, I'm opening myself and my wife up to potential harm, because not everyone's going to dig people talking about them. I'm not talking about people disrespecting them or anything like that. There's a lot of reasons why people do what they do. I don't dig having drugs given to me as a kid, and I chose to choose that on man to man, show up and take care of business. And I'm not ever going to apologize for that. And I was talking about it on this podcast I was just on, about the reality of maybe someday having my head severed from my body. Of course, I don't want that to happen, but also at the same time, I realize that if that ever did happen, they can only do so much to me on this earth. And anything that they could do to me on this earth is still less than they did to our King Jesus. And the ultimate reality of this earth for me, as far as I'm concerned, is to learn my lesson to prepare me to go back and seek Him, my King, my God, and to take care of my family. That's what I'm here to do. A lot of people put a lot of stuff about where my daughter is. She's in Russia. They talk about the tattoo on my neck. They talk a lot of things, you know. I'm not the best storyteller. I'm not here to be a storyteller to you, man. Not in that sense. I'm not here to polish myself to be some more contrived bullshit that you guys consume on YouTube. That's not what I'm about. I'm about trying to tell someone how a misguided youth that at one point was an innocent boy fell into a lot of violence and crime, whether he wanted to or not, how he found his way out of it, and how even with a government that wants to keep people down and keep them away from being model citizens in society, that you got to find a way to overcome and succeed anyway, regardless of people disliking you or not. That's what my channel's about. My channel's about also people that have seen a lot of carnage and stuff like that, like in law enforcement, like veterans, and other stuff, to where you look at bodies just like me, like hardened convicts, that you find a way to not harden your heart and seek Christ, to where you don't self-delete someday either, because every human life, no matter what color, no matter what gender, no matter what religion, has intrinsic value. There is an all-powerful, all-knowing being that breathed life in us somehow, and we're here for a reason. And if you're down with that, cool. And if you're not down with that, that's okay too. You can please some of the people, or all the people some of the time. You can please some of the people all the time, but you can't please all the people all the time. And I'm not even going to try, man. You like my past, you don't like my past, not my problem, man. I live life waking up every day making sure I can look myself in the mirror and not be a scumbag, and make sure that I take care of my wife and that I love her and respect her in all the ways that the Bible tells me to do. I can pick and choose a lot of things. The type of music I have, I wanted to get a haircut, the music or the clothes I wear, I don't get to pick and choose what's written in the Bible. There's a lot of other channels out there I dig on, 3 of 7 Project, a lot of other things. A lot of major channels have blown me off and have chosen not to talk to me. That's their problem. I can say this though, of both the podcasts that I've done so far, I've absolutely proven my credentials and backed up who I am. And I'm not making any of this up. Also, there was some kind of sketchy stuff that some friends or even myself may have participated in or may not have. And when you're doing a video, stuff comes out, but you don't really get to think about your answer because you're recording, the camera's going, and you don't want to retract or correct something on the fly, or someone will ask a question that you take the wrong way. So about that, anything that I've done, I've answered for legally in a court of law. I'm just going to say that. And outside of that, I have always tried to abide by the law because I like not being detrimental to society. I like trying to fit in to a certain extent. I wouldn't say I'm a complete conformist. I believe in freedom, and a lot of people don't. So there's problems drawn there. But as far as like harming anyone or their property, I am vehemently against it. Okay? I'm also not down with being lorded over like you're some subject of some king somewhere. And I'm not talking about a deity or a godly king. I'm talking about human beings that think they lord over you. You know, I got a lot to say about that. Anyways, I wanted to put something out there so you guys know what I got going on. There is some stuff in the pipe. Gafe 423 is basically falling off the map. I don't know what's up with him. Ed and his people, I am in contact with them. They have emailed me. They're busy right now with a couple things, but as you can see, I'm driving back through San Joaquin Valley. You can see it in the background here. So I am committed to bringing you guys my story to help amplify what you guys know about what you see online, because there's a lot of people that are less than honest online, and I want to make sure that you get a different perspective. And my perspective is different than almost anybody, because not a lot of people have been on opposite side of the laws, and even fewer people have been on the one side of the law and then gone over to the side of the law as a uniformed member of it. That almost never happens. In fact, I might be the only one in the world that I know of, but I'm not saying I'm special or I'm all that either, man. I'm just one more bag of meat that takes a turd, one turd at a time, like you guys do. I like to keep things in perspective. I don't want to be crass. I cussed a little bit more than I wanted to on this deal. You know, I'm probably going to delete that part out where I said his name. I cussed a little bit more than I wanted to, but our backgrounds come from an area where people cuss a lot, and you just get to talking, and sometimes that's the way that I communicate. Forgive me. I don't like communicating that way, and I've tried to change that specifically at the behest of my wife. My wife is 10 times a better person than I will ever be. My wife generally tries to talk me out of things. My wife is very calm, tranquil, and relaxed and reserved. That's kind of not me. I kind of just, I tell you what's up, what's on my mind. Because that's just the way I grew up. From LA, that's what we do. So hey, I've got some fans. My numbers have gone up. 50,000 over on Camp Ganyon's thing, views, and it's still going. Well, it's not 50,000, it's 48,000 and change, but between tomorrow or the day after, it'll be at 50,000. To answer the people on the questions of that thing, what happened to my daughter? My daughter got left in Russia by her mother with her grandmother. My ex came back to this country and stayed here ever since, and my daughter grew up in Russia, speaking Russian. And I have spoken to my daughter several times, and I miss my daughter. Her mom, I've spoken to her mother too. Her mother lives in LA somewhere with her boyfriend or her husband or whatever. I don't get into it. It's none of my business. So anybody that last person on the Camp Canyon video that said that my daughter's been sold, you're way out of line. And then even one of the first videos said that they were murdered. My daughter and my ex-wife are not murdered. They're completely fine physically, living free lives, doing whatever it is they want to do. And sometimes I communicate them when I have cause to. That's it. Which isn't all that often, but it does happen. The tattoo on my neck, I burned it off with MAP gas and a butter knife because you can argue process, but you can't argue results. And I didn't want my other half to have to sit there and look at some chick's name, which is what it was. I'd gone to a tattoo doctor to get it taken off. He told me it was going to cost about $5,000 and take a year. I wasn't down with that. It cost me $15 worth of MAP gas. $15 worth of MAP gas in about 5 minutes. And yeah, some people think that's psycho. My brothers and sisters, because I have them, they almost never, ever give me props. And not just on this, but like on anything, man. One of my brothers is worth quite a bit of cash, man. He's got a business. I'm really proud of him. He does really well, and I am extremely, actually coming to think about it, proud of him given where we come from. And he helps a great many people. My other brothers and sisters sing and praise, and you know what? I'm glad they do. As far as what I do, trying to help keep drugs out of people's hands, trying to go after terrorists in Russia, whatever. And I haven't really gotten into the Russian thing, and there's a good reason for it. But they almost never give me accolades or anything like that online or anything else publicly. I think partially because they think I'm psycho, because you would have to be kinda, I think that's what they think, in order to go out and do some of the stuff that I've done, because not a lot of people are doing it or taking it to that extent. I'm not everybody else. I learned the day that I was born that I couldn't depend on anybody, not even my mother. And so my understanding of life is a lot different than a lot of your guys' are. Because my mother gave me away the day I was born. I never sucked on her tit. I didn't have a name for almost 2 years. I grew up around, I was beaten for the first couple years of my life until my mom got me back. And then when I got back, I had 4 brothers and sisters that were all half brothers and sisters, and I was the only one that was left out. My dad was a transsexual. I got made fun of school at my biological dad. Got made fun of school at that. I fought my whole life. And so my understanding of things, and then going to school with Bloods and Crips and Latino gang members, just because you're white, you don't have to capitulate stuff. So when you see big SS lightning bolts on my arms, it's not because I'm a Nazi. It's just because I'm not going to put up with people's shit that think when I go to school they're going to take advantage of me because I'm white, beat me up and take my skateboard. I'm also not the world's biggest badass. I've been beat up. A great big scar right here where I got thumped up on when I was fighting all the bouncers at the Whiskey A Go-Go one night defending my little brother. He called me up and asked me for help, and I went down there to help, and the guys that beat up my brother, I drilled the dude right in the head. And I got effed up over it. So I'm not a badass. I'm just a guy. But I'm also a guy that made a decision that I'm not going to wait on people's permission to give me permission to tell me how I can or can't live my life. Because if you're free, you own yourself. Not some government, not somebody else, not somebody with guns. You do you. And there's a lot of people in this day and age that don't like people that think like that. There's a lot of people that are in charge of defending the law that want you to depend on them. And I'm not going to be that guy. Well, this country was founded killing tons of Native Americans that didn't want to be subject to people either. So, I mean, let's just keep it real for a minute. People say we believe in freedom, but they don't really. Well, I do. I'm not ever going to apologize for that. Our God came here and gave us free agency, and that's just what's up. So I don't want to go off down a rabbit hole. I am working on my storytelling ability, even though I'm not here to appease any of you. You guys like my videos, cool. Like and subscribe. You don't, please go use the search function and find something else on YouTube that you enjoy. I'm not saying that as a dick. I'm just saying find something else that you like using, because when you go into that box at the end of your life, you go there alone, and I hope that you spent your life doing what you want to do and not listening to my bullshit, okay? So any of you guys that want to go over there and comment on Camp Ganyon's video, or you're going to go over and comment on this next one, please watch this video and then act accordingly. Go find a different video to watch. Anyone that wants to say I didn't do all the things that I say I do, I was there, you weren't. Post your video or STFU, okay? Seriously. You're some random fucking dude on YouTube posting some shit being hateful because you're unhappy with your life's accomplishments. I'm happy with my life's accomplishments. I know who my God is. I've asked him for salvation. I married the greatest person in the world. The greatest. Chef's kiss. Greatest person ever. Ever. And I treat her that way, or try to. And when I don't, I try to correct course and make sure that I apologize and rectify the situation. Right? And then the third thing is I can look myself in my mirror, because I've been sober for 28 years and I'm not out screwing my life up one day at a time. And fourth, in my own appropriate way that's appropriate to me, I do my best to help everybody I come in contact with, man. You don't have to believe that. In fact, you don't even have to know about it, because if you're really trying to help other people, it's not something other people should know about it. There's a Bible verse about that, talking about the people that pray in the closets and the people that pray in the streets. And that the people that pray in the streets, seeking people to know them as pious, spiritual people, they have their reward. They have the accolades of everybody else. I don't want everybody else's props because, oh, that guy helps so many people. That's not me, dude. So that's enough out of me. It's a 17-minute video, but I definitely want you guys to know what I've been up to. Driving back to Portland from San Diego. And during that video that you guys are gonna watch, I wasn't feeling the best because there was a lot of stressful things going on towards the end of the video. So if I look a little off disheveled, that's why. Anyways, enough out of me. I'm gonna take the guy's name out of it. I'm gonna publish this without really editing it because I'm on the road, and that's what's up. I hope you guys are blessed. I hope you get every single thing that you want out of life, as long as it's righteous. Please find a church community and go to it. Cheers. Have a wonderful day.